YouTube, Reseller Mom here. Welcome to a KonMarie video. It's been a while since I've gotten around to one of these, but well overdue, and today we are going to try and tackle the shed, which the shed houses all of my Christmas ornaments and seasonal stuff, and then also all our yard stuff. So it is a big task. You can see the building right behind us. It sits in the yard. I'm going to go give you a quick inside peek, which is horrible. It's very, well, they call it spider shed because it's filled with spiders. It's dark, it's dingy, it's nasty, and it is crammed to the hilt with all the stuff that we have collected for 10, 12 years. So anyhow, I told my husband that this was a huge job and I couldn't undertake it by myself. And so when he gets home, he is going to physically take everything out and put it out on the decks here. And I'll try to do updates for you as we go. I'm not really sure how it's going to progress, how we're going to tackle it. But, you know, some is better than none. So let's take a quick peek here. One of the big selling points of our property was this huge shed that we could put stuff in, which was awesome. And I think it's probably about maybe 10 by 12, something like that, maybe 8 by 12, but a huge shed, and it's really, really great for storing stuff. But unfortunately, over the years, we have just crammed it full, and now it's not functionable. And as you can see, like, it needs a really good cleaning. So we might get the power washer out. There we go, ta-da, you can see very little room to get in here. So I can barely, you know, I've got, what, a couple feet space that I can walk in here. We've got everything from our table, the big cooler there, the lawnmower. Oh man, yes, we're just going to have to do some really heavy-duty cleaning. So if we go in here, we've got camping gear. It's hard to see. This foam cooler, some friends brought some stuff over and left it here. And it's one of those things, it's like, oh, that's a perfectly good foam cooler. What should we do with it? Well, let's just throw it in the shed. Like everything else, just throw it in the shed. And this is what happens after you say that 50 times. You wind up with everything thrown into the shed. I've got, wow, random Easter baskets up there. I don't even know. It's just out in the corner of the yard, so nobody really wants to come out here. I've got just stuff everywhere. It looks like the kids maybe put some stuff away and didn't put it away very well. Got things knocked over. We got painting supplies. I've got some Halloween. Those are little Halloween things over there. So anyhow, this is the before, and this is so not what I want. This is not how I want my shed to look. Basically, I have, I think 3 shelves right there and 3 shelves over on this side. And I would love to walk in and have everything painted white. That would be awesome. Second would be to have everything lined up and labeled so I could come in and say, okay, that's the Easter bucket, and just easily grab it and bring it into the house. But that's not the case here. These are all tombstones for Halloween. Got a Christmas tree. Anyhow, so we're going to get, first things first, we're going to get everything out and kind of grouped into categories. So we'll put camping in one corner. Christmas probably needs its own corner. All of that's Christmas. I've got like 5 boxes there, and I've got another set there. And Christmas is one of those, every year I've said, oh, I'm going to go through it this year. And I've said that probably for 5 years. So today is the day. Everything's going to be hauled out. And if I don't have a need for it, we are going to load it up and get it to the Goodwill this weekend. I did also want to do this while the kids were out of town. They are out of town this weekend at Grandma's house, so that they get sentimental too. But you know, they're more of a I don't want to say they quite slow me down, but they definitely are a hindrance when we're trying to do major projects like this. So time to get cracking. Yeah, I think our plan is to A, take everything out, B, get in here and do some really good cleaning and possible painting. I don't know, maybe some spray paint? Not even sure. Get everything painted and cleaned out and swept out, and then reorganize the stuff that we have, mainly paring down and going through and just keeping what we love as the KonMarie process suggests. And then maybe getting new containers. I don't know. We'll see. Then getting those containers labeled and put back in here in a lovely way. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of debating on the new container thing. I don't like to spend money. I'm very frugal in that regard. But if you're going to do it once, maybe that's the good time to do it. So we'll see. Anyhow, I'll show you what this all looks like in a bit. Alright guys, it is the next morning, and unfortunately I already did round one. This place was even more packed than what you see here. This is our deck. Everything from the shed, minus yard tools and the lawnmower, which I'll show you, was brought up to the deck, and then we did a quick round of purging anything that was big, bulky, and we knew we weren't going to keep right off the bat. So I'm left with a Mod Podge of other stuff left. This black container is my purging container. It normally stays in my what do you call it, closet, and I just line it with a trash sack, and whenever we have like a pair of shorts that's missing a button or something that's too small or whatnot, we just go ahead and put that in there, and then when it gets full I take it to the Goodwill. So I have keepsake stuff, we've got baseballs, that trunk is full of my wedding stuff, I don't remember what's in there, we've got camping supplies. The bananas are not part of the shed stuff. He got fruit flies, and so we just stuck them outside last night. But weird things, like we had 8 sleeping bags. Now, I only have 4 people in the family. We only need 4 sleeping bags. So we definitely got rid of 3 yesterday, and then we're debating on another 2 right now. But, you know, I had 2 frozen sleeping bags for some reason, and my daughter had another one that was like her very first before Frozen came out. So we just decided to keep the best frozen one and part with the other 2. You know, easy decisions. I like to get the easy stuff out of the way because it was very overwhelming with all this bulk out here. Look how much Christmas stuff I have. I have 3, 6, 9, 12. I've got like at least 13 containers of Christmas stuff. Do I need all that stuff? Probably not. We'll see. We'll see. I've got Halloween kind of stacked up right here. I've got clothes. I've got Easter. We had extra Easter baskets up there. I said, we don't need 12 Easter baskets, you know. We had another four of these guys. They're just tombstones to decorate the yard. Decided, you know, just keep the ones that were well put together and get rid of the other ones. Over here, these I think are Easter costumes. I've got rollout mats for camping. I've got a dog in the morning. We've got tents and coolers. You know, the typical stuff. This whole corner was filled with Goodwill stuff. So I'll show you the back of the car in a second. Let's take a look at the shed. So we came out here yesterday after dumping everything out and made some decisions out here. We definitely want to keep our saw table. That's a given. But this thing that keeps all of your stuff in order is not going to go back in the shed. We've already determined that it's kind of a big waste of space and we don't really care for it. And then like half the stuff in it is not very useful either. We don't really need the painting rolly doodad. We've got another one. You know, when you have doubles of things, it makes it a lot easier to part with one. So my lovely husband spent at least a half an hour in here cleaning, and he didn't do the outside, but on the inside he did, and probably still need to come in. I think I'll come in and hit it with a can of bug spray. But we have a lot of room. If you step back here, you can see, you know, there's a good like 3-4 shelves there. You know, you could put stuff under and then 4 shelves high. We're thinking about putting some sort of hanging doodad on the back wall to hang our tools, either on that side, or if you come in and look at from this angle, we could put something there and hang just like they did right there. So, you know, this is the time where you can do those sorts of things. You can add, subtract. I really want to paint the shelves white in here, but he doesn't want to do that. So we'll see. I might just do the shelves so that the buckets lay on something a little bit nicer. We'll see how ambitious we are today. Yeah, we knew this was going to be a couple-day project, and girls are out here with me, having a good time. Well, I wouldn't say a good time. It's something that is good for us to do and needed to be done, and getting it done after many years of saying we were going to get done, that part feels good. The actual process for me is very high on the anxiety level part, because you're going through a lot of your stuff that you've got to make decisions about, and it's just so much easier to put it back in there and say, I'll do this another day. So hold on. The things that difference between how I normally would have done this and the difference after reading the KonMarie book is really evaluating each piece of what you have. And a lot of times it's easy just to take these buckets, now that, you know, we've gotten rid of a whole car full of stuff, kind of reorganize them, maybe buy some new stuff, and then just reshuffle it around and put it back in there. But the KonMarie process is you go through everything. You don't just take that box of junk and stuff it back in. You really evaluate everything inside that box. And that's hard, you know, because that's not what I want to do. I just want to put it all back in and call it done. But it really is part of the process, and it makes you go through it. I've been sleeping and thinking about my keepsake shirts from high school. I have some high school shirts that, you know, were from clubs and stuff like that. And I don't necessarily want to lug this box around the whole time. This was from my, I put that down, my bachelor party. I've got from my debate team. I've got from my sorority, you know, and so they're good memories and whatnot. I'm trying to think, how could I honor that stuff? And it's honestly, it's not honored out in a gray bucket with dead bug bits on top of it and a nasty sign. So what could I do if I do want to keep it? You know, I'm thinking about maybe a shadow box or a picture frame where I cut out all the tags and just kind of montage it, collage it up on a picture frame of some sort, you know, so it's not going back out and honestly just taking up floor space that I'm lugging around from one place to another. I mean, my kids aren't going to want that, so I either need to decide to honor it and put it somewhere in my house on display, or I need to get rid of it and part with it. So, you know, those are some really heavy decisions, especially with, you know, childhood memories that you've been lugging around for 20 plus years. So that's why this part is very high on the anxiety level. It makes you deal with your things that you have, and then you know you think about it, and these are all just things. If I lost every single thing out here tomorrow in a hurricane or flood or whatnot, would I really be upset about it, or would I be kind of happy that I don't have to deal with this pile of junk anymore? You know, we were talking, some girlfriends and I, and they said, you know, sometimes I just wish we could move and I wouldn't take anything with me. I said, I know that feeling, because it's exhausting to deal with your stuff, especially if you don't get rid of stuff on a regular basis. So anyhow, let me show you the back of the car, and then doggies and I have some work to do to prepare myself this morning to go through this heavy stuff. I told them last night, I said, you know, we're going to do the big chunk in the initial purge, and then I'm too overwhelmed. I need to think about this and wake up fresh, get some coffee, and then see how it's going, because it is very emotional. I don't know. I have more of an emotional time with it than my husband. I think because most of this stuff I probably purchased as we were starting our life and stuff, so maybe that's why I have more of attachment. Or my mom, you know, gave us a lot of stuff. So anyhow, let me show you what we're getting rid of real quick, and then I'll have another update, I guess. First up is this life-size coffin that we are getting rid of. One of two reasons. One, it has been really rainy the last couple of Halloweens. It's awesome. You stand it up, you can hide it and stuff, but it does kind of take up the entire front doorway area. It was a pain in the butt to get to, and when it's raining and stuff, you know, we're limited to just the front porch where it's covered to put it out. You can't put it out in the rain or the cloth gets wet. So anyhow, first up, put that out to the curb. It's nice and dry. That was why we chose to do the shed during the summer months up here in Seattle, because I said, you know, if we try to do this during the winter, we're going to be lugging around in the rain and really dodging that bullet. So I said, this is definitely something we have to get done while it's dry so we can get this kind of junk out of here. Okay, I can only really shoot from the side here, but this is all the initial big stuff that we are getting rid of. You know, I have some large decorations here. This is like a Christmas one, some Easter baskets. I got those tomato cages I haven't used in 3 summers. Some fencing. Let's see, what else? Just, oh, there's large bags of stuff back there, but you can't really see. Anyhow, so first car trip, we knew that it was going to be a several car trip type of deal. And so I said, let's just get the initial big big items out and gone, and then that kind of will give us some breathing room and a little bit of work area, because this did take up the entire corner of that deck area. So now I got to decide which one I want to tackle first. Do you go big to small or small to big? I don't know. I'm going to go get some coffee first off here. Hello YouTube, welcome to another haul video. It is for Friday. What was Friday? I got to look at the computer here. The 21st of July. Went out last night. We went and did the float tanks late at night. Have you guys ever done those? That was interesting. I'm not sure I really like it or don't like it. It was interesting to say the least. You get in this tub full of super saturated water with salt and you relax for an hour. It was good. It was good. Anyhow, so before that though, I went over and had my husband drop me off at Ross while he went and got dog food. So I need to get some shopping in. And then afterwards we wound up going to Target. I always call it Target, but anyhow, went to Target and found a few items there. I'm not going to show you the Target stuff, but they are starting to clearance out their toys. Where did I go? Didn't find anything in video games. Found a couple baby toys or, you know, toddler toy stuff. Nothing in the Barbie aisle. Star Wars still seems to be restricted. Legos are still restricted. Nothing in the board games. Found some items in the pets section. But for Ross, I want to show you what I got here. I spent about over $100 at Target, and I want to say like $98 at Ross last night. So I hit up, I'm not afraid of shipping glass. If you're afraid of shipping glass, then don't do it. But for me, it's really simple. Just wrap things in bubble wrap and I stick it in a poly bag. That's my procedure. Seems to work for me. I haven't gotten any complaints. Seems to package very well. Anyhow, you know, if you over package things, you know, then you're not going to get in any trouble. And as you get more familiar with it, then maybe you can ebb some costs there. But for me, bubble wrap's really cheap, especially if you're getting it in big rolls. Bubble wrap boxes and poly bags. I mean, my boxes that I order are less than 50 cents a box. My poly bags are less than $1 a piece, and bubble wrap, I've never priced it out, but, you know, we're talking about $1 or maybe 50 cents in packaging materials, and for me, it's worth having that on hand. So, let's show you what I got. Sorry, I don't have my stand out, and the rest of my office here is filled with stuff from, I had some other online orders show up, so just been cranking it out, guys, and I have to curb my videos accordingly. First, let me get the lights on here. Let's see here if I can step back. There we go. Okay, that's a little bit better. So, in the glass section, what I picked up is Dallas Cowboy pint glasses. Now, why in the Seattle area do we have Dallas Cowboy pint glasses? But pretty much anything NFL I scan. Default. NFL I scan. It's just like ingrained into my blood. Now, I did see, what is those? Car seat shoulder straps. Couldn't get them to come up. I guess I could have spent some more time looking. And these pint glasses. So now these pint glasses are going for $30 on Amazon. They were $9.99. The profit is pay out $10, make $10. Now, of course, I'm not counting in the tax because I don't use my reseller permit at Ross. But so what is that, like $1 there? And then I'll have to use a little bit of bubble wrap. So I'll be making at least about $8 profit on these. And I've got 5 of them there. So over $40 in profit just in little pint glasses. You know, but you have to wrap them. It's give and take. Sometimes, you know, you just got to do that. I don't know if I'd want to do glass full time, but hey, I'll do it today. Not a big deal. This hose thing, the tag had been marked off. So she wound up giving them to me. I told her if it was under $15, I would take it. She gave it to me for either 8 or 10. I can't remember. I did check to make sure it was in there. This is why I keep these little circle things on hand. I have these guys default, so I can take this gnarly one off and just replace it with a fresh one, and it will look nice and spiffy. Take off the tag. Those are going for about $43, $45 online right now. And after Amazon takes their cut, I had $31 to play with. That's why I said if it was under $15, half the cost, then I would take it. So I'm standing to make about 20 bucks on the flexi hose there. Got my coffee this morning, my new coffee cup, loving it. Found these guys with the rubber things, which are really good to drink from, you know, if you like wine glasses and stuff. I have a set in the blue. My dad has the black. I'm not a big orange fan, but somebody is going to love that hot orange. Can't remember what they were going for, but they were $6.99 at Ross. I definitely know they're probably about 30 bucks on Amazon, if not more. So, good deal there. Couldn't find any more of them. That's the thing with Ross. When you go in there, you got to look for certain categories, but they're not going to have the same thing next time you go in there. Okay, in the beauty section, these guys, charcoal and green tea masks, going for $25. What the heck? What does this charcoal do for your face? I have no idea. What? Somebody just came up with this. Hey, let's take charcoal and stick it on your face. It should be good. No, but I scanned. They had about 3 or 4 detoxing masks. Only this one showed up really good. It was $25. There was no FBAs. It was $19.99 plus, sorry, I'm thinking, $5 in shipping or $6 in shipping. Had a little bit of a higher rank. So when I see that, I know that I'm going to put these in and either match the merchant fulfilled or come in just a little bit cheaper to kind of make sure that I sell out. I only have 2, so I'm not worried about long-term inventory here, but say I had more quantity, then that would be one where maybe I would lower the price a little bit or offer a sale or something to kind of boost the rank a little bit, because it was, I think, 800,000 in rank, which is pretty high for beauty, but there was no FBA sellers. So if it was 800,000 and there was a whole bunch of people on the listing, then I would walk away from it, because that's just too much. We're not gonna sell it. But we are getting ready for the Q4 holidays. No competition. You know, I had a couple other things going for it. Okay, last I want to show you. I only found one of each, and then there was a pomegranate one. And I smelled the pomegranate one, and I'm like, oh, this smells really good. And I went to go smell the next one, and noticed at the bottom there is a silver thing sealing it. So then I went back to the pomegranate. Sure enough, somebody had taken that seal off, so I took it out of my cart. You know, not going to get it if the seal's broken. That would get me a customer complaint real quick for sure. Anyhow, each of these bottles, one of them was going for $20. The other 2 were right around the $15 mark, and they were all $2.99 a piece. So I don't know why this Petal Fresh was scanning so well and just selling really well. Must be really good stuff. The pomegranate one smelled really good. Debated getting it for myself, but I have so many little tubes of junk. I don't need any more. Anyhow, so I can't remember what the profit was, but probably about $6 a piece here. So I have about $20 there, another $40 there, another $20 there. You know, probably about $100 worth of profit all in all, give or take here, about $80 to $100 worth of profit. Spent less than an hour, probably less than a half hour cruising around in Ross. I wasn't moving very fast, you know, just going my own pace and chilling and looking at things. The other thing that I kind of want to go in there and look for, and this is because during the day when I am wrapping things up, I watch other people's YouTubes sometimes. I watch self-help, I watch YouTubes, I watch how-tos. I got to watch some more Inventory Lab ones. But I was watching catching up on the Reseller Stew. And if you don't watch those ladies, they're pretty amazing. Really like their show. It's fun to watch, you know. It's not as dry as like a how-to on Inventory Lab. It's kind of a little bit more refreshing. Anywho, so I was watching them, and one of the things they were talking about was reselling Ralph Lauren sheets and pillowcases and shams that they pick up at Ross and Target, and or not Target, Ross, TJ Maxx, etc., Marshalls. And apparently Ralph Lauren sheets and shams resell really, really well. So I'm like, oh, I gotta go and I gotta peruse the sheets and see if I can find any. Didn't find a single one. But anyhow, it was an interesting little tidbit. I love picking up those tidbits because I feel more knowledgeable. And when I'm out at garage sales, even used sheets, we're doing really well on eBay. So I will keep my eye out for Ralph Lauren sheets. If you don't believe me, which of course I always double check my research. So while I was watching that, I came over to the computer, looked at the sold comps on eBay for Ralph Lauren. Just type in Ralph Lauren like pillowcase. Sure enough, some were going for some really good money. And again, you got to watch your margins and see what you're picking them up at and stuff. But if you can pick up a set of sheets for, say, $20, $30, some of them were going for $80 to $150 on there. So it just depends on the color and whatnot. Anyhow, I love learning. So Thank you, ladies. All right, guys, I've got to get this stuff done. I've got to get a couple more boxes. It's Saturday morning. Currently, this is from Friday night. I didn't want to film last night. But we are still cleaning out the shed today, and the kids are out until Thursday. And I've got more boxes. The UPS man picks up at 1 o'clock, so I've got to get a couple more boxes out because I am about $500 short of hitting my $2,000 a week profit goal to get out in a week, and so I need to get that going. All right, take care. Happy hunting. All right, doing a quick update, but I don't have my earbuds in, so sorry about the sound here. We've decided we were going to do camping first, and then do Halloween here. So we've got Halloween out. We're kind of just grouping things out into different sections. We've got costumes and outdoor. Then I've started one bucket. This is going to be inside display items. And I've got another bucket over there that's like all their trick-or-treat containers and pumpkin carving. And then it looks like, you know, we might have one for outdoor decoration and one for costumes. So that would give us 4 containers versus I think we had 8 beforehand. Anyhow, to give you an idea of what we've gotten rid of, this is just from the last like hour or so right here. So as you can see, the bags are piling up. I've got 6 bags of donations right there. We are making progress. We've got all the camping stuff in the shed, so let me go show you that real quick. All right, so walking into the shed, we've pretty much started filling up the right side here. We've got, instead of 4 things of sleeping bags, we now just have 2 neatly put. I did my labeler and I labeled everything, so I've got 2 boxes of Easter, 2 boxes of sleeping bags, 1 thing of camping. We've got our foam mats and tents and stuff put up. You know, I even labeled like the 2-stroke engine stuff because, you know, sometimes you have people come over and they're like, can I borrow this or can I use that? And I send the kids out to the shed to get something. And sometimes they don't know what 2-stroke is or what to look for, so just wanted to label everything as we go. On the other side, it's still completely empty, so that's awesome. We're doing really good. I have hung the Halloween stuff that's kind of big for the yard, and Halloween's our favorite holiday, so we really try to do it up for Halloween. Anyhow, I kept our big stuff up into the rafters. Yeah, we're working our way through. Today, we just want to tackle Halloween and camping. And then, you know, some obvious stuff like my husband's dirt bike stuff and our 2 coolers we want to keep and the gasoline we're keeping. But, you know, do the easy stuff first, get some things done so you feel a little bit of accomplishment. And then, you know, the next one up is Halloween. And so I said, let's tackle that because it's a little less sentimental to me than Christmas. And this process does get easier as you go through things. So, like, camping's pretty simple. You either keep stuff you need or you don't need. I have very little sentimental stuff in camping or like the gasoline. It's a functional item, so pretty easy to say, yes, we need it, no, we don't. Same with the coolers. I'm not attached to the coolers. It's, do they function? Yes or no. Do we need them? Yes or no. But, you know, a lot more than, say, my Halloween or Christmas where the kids have made ornaments or, you know, maybe your dead aunt gave you something that was important 4 years ago. It's a lot harder to give up that kind of stuff and go through that emotional decision making. So you want to build yourself up. As with this whole process, I don't know where Halloween and holiday decoration fall in the KonMarie. I don't know if that's under kimono stuff or whatnot, but this is the time we needed to do it. The kids are out of town. It's nice and sunny. We don't have rain for several days here, so we can spread out on the deck and do this. And so it's just the perfect time, you know, without the kids, because the kids, they get into the Halloween stuff and they want to play and they want to build and, oh, let's try on the costumes. And so we need to be, you know, doing this without them and out their help here. And then we will have something that we can deal with. Anyhow, let's go back up to the deck. From this angle, you can see that we have lots of empty containers. I'll probably use 2 for Halloween, like I said, 1 for outside decoration and 1 for costumes. But over there, we've already gotten rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tubs for sure that will be gone. And I had another big tub that was used for a gardening project back in the day. That's gone. I had some PVC pipe and 2 shelving boards. Those are gone. We had somebody come pick up the big, oh my gosh, coffin this morning. They're going to repurpose it into a planter garden. So that was cool. I'm glad to see it going and being reused. I definitely don't like to fill things up in the landfill. Christmas is going to be tomorrow morning. I have, God, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 tubs and a couple bags and miscellaneous stuff. But like Halloween, we'll just start taking it all out and kind of grouping it out together. So, you know, he started grouping, all our limbs are over here, and decor stuff is over there, and costumes are over there. So just start grouping it up, and it is eye-opening. When you see that you have this much junk, yeah, it makes it a lot easier to part with things. Like, what am I doing with light bulbs here? I can never find a freaking light bulb to save my life, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 light bulbs. And then over here we found these, which were really cool. We want to use these. So I've got, and then these are lights. So how many lights does one person need? I didn't even realize I had this much. If you'd asked me how many light bulbs I have for Halloween, I'd be like, oh, maybe we should buy some. But that's what keeps happening. And now I have several. So anyhow, I'm going to finish getting this all sorted. Things like, you know, cobwebs. I would have totally bought more cobwebs this year because I didn't think we had any. But I have 4 bags of cobwebs. So I'm going to keep all 4. But I definitely, now that I see them, I know that I don't have to purchase anything more for quite a while. Probably 4 more years. And by then, the kids are probably going to be too old to not even enjoy this anymore. But we have a good time with it and love doing it. Same with, I definitely am keeping way too many little container things here. But we do like having the variety, and then we like to sort out the candy by who likes what. And I don't know if you guys sort your candy, but we sort our candy. And one pile will be like to go to work, and one pile will be my favorite, and we trade, and it's fun. Anyhow, so I hope you guys are enjoying this. I will give you an update in a bit. Alright, today is Sunday morning, so we've been doing this project for 3 days now. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's our weekend project. Oh, goodness. And Christmas is upon us. We've got Christmas music going here, and we have so much stuff that we decided to break it out into 3 different sections. We have indoor decor, Christmas tree decorations, and then like outside decorations. So we're going to start with the inside first. That's just what we grabbed. And when you lay it all out like this, you know, it really kind of hits you on how much stuff you have and what means more to something than other things. And we even group it up into smaller categories, like this is all my candle stuff. So when I see all my candles like this, it's really easy to say, okay, I can't really effectively display this many candles. What are my top, you know, 3 favorite that I'd want to put out? Or, you know, which ones are not melted? This one's pretty gone. This one's looking like it's on its last leg. You know, so then you can really pare down in an efficient manner and really lay it all out. When it's all packed up and you're just kind of taking things out as it comes, it can get overwhelming because then you've already started decorating, and I don't know. It's overwhelming. I just wind up cramming things wherever they will fit in the house. Don't know if you guys have that problem, but I do. Anyhow, also when you lay it out like this, you can see just quantity-wise how much stuff you actually have. You know, do I really need 5 Christmas, 6, maybe 7 tablecloths? I have 1 table, possibly 2. We do laundry quite often, so, you know, maybe I can pare that down a little bit and just keep my favorite couple of ones. So you can do logistic stuff like that. The other thing that we did was pretty much anything that's broken, that's beyond repair, we're just automatically going to get rid of, even if it means something, because it's broken. And if we can't repair it, then, you know, we got to just part ways here. So for example here, this guy, the bottom came off. That's an easy hot glue fix, and I really like that one because we go to the Nutcracker every year, and I really like that one. However, I had some Linux salt and pepper shakers that I really liked, but my poor reindeer is broken, and every time I see him all broken, it's sad. So I'm going to pass that sad memory on, and don't keep things around that make you sad, I guess is where I'm going with that. Alright, so all of this is just indoor decor. We've started putting some light stuff out here, and then I have 1 bag of miscellaneous. I've got 3 for the tree, 3 for outside. Our current status in the shed is we have 13 open spots. Out on the deck, before we started unpacking this, we had 22 containers. I still have you know, my wedding, 3 keepsake containers, and 2 baseball card containers. So we definitely need to think about how much stuff do we want to store. And, you know, you want to only store stuff that brings you joy and you're going to actually use. So time to dig into this, get some coffee in me, and get to work here. All right, guys, time for an update. Christmas is done. We wound up downsizing 2 buckets in that department. And, you know, we kind of just kept the things that were really important to us, that really brought us joy, and anything that we really liked. And then things that we were like, we don't really care for this. We don't know where we got it, when we got it, how we got it, etc. went into a donation pile. So husband is got trip number 3 to the Goodwill. He is going right now, or Value Village, whatever. Just donate, you know, instead of throwing away. And, you know, we got rid of a good amount of ornaments, and it feels so good because now I know when I am going to go do my tree this year that every ornament I pull out I'm going to love, and that's a great feeling versus before it was kind of daunting, and I didn't really want to do decorating the tree this last year because it was like every other ornament I'm going, oh my god, we don't have room for this, I don't really like it, and then trying to play favorites. And anyhow, now I feel like I could decorate my tree and be efficient with it. Also, he went through all the lights, and apparently he got rid of a lot of the lights with the outside. Anyhow, we are down to the nitty-gritty here. I've got my wedding trunk right here. That's a backpack thing going to my brother. Keepsakes and keepsakes. I know one of these, the gray one here, has all of my sentimental t-shirts from prior to marriage. And we've been married for 15 years. So, half of me just wants to take the entire bucket and go put it in the trash. The other half of me is like, oh, you know, maybe fond memories. So what I'm going to do is take it out and just lay them all out on the table and see how I feel about it. Kind of like with the ornaments, there were some ornaments that brought up negative memories or bad feelings or whatever, however you want to word them. They weren't feelings of joy. So that made me decide just to get rid of it. It's okay. There's no reason why I need to hang on to things that don't spark joy in my life anymore, especially if they're over 15 years old and I haven't needed them up till now, you know, but I don't want to just throw them away without looking because, I don't know, I don't think I can do it. As much as I'd love to, I don't think I could. Over here, so that was 3 essential containers over there. Over here, this is all my painting supplies. So that one will be pretty easy. You know, we're just going to keep a handful of brushes and rollers, etc. You know, functional stuff that's really easy. It's not sentimental. And the top box is my son's stuffed animals that he has wanted to keep. And so I will go through that with him when he gets back home. They're on vacation right now. So let me show you the shed and what we've been doing down there and what else we have to do. These are all the buckets that are empty, which is awesome. While we were doing Christmas, we came across another bucket of Halloween. I didn't even know we had. So most of that got donated. We didn't need it. Anyhow, so that was good to go through. I thought I had a bucket of baby clothes out here, but it doesn't look like I do. So, you know, very eye-opening as to what I actually own and what I don't. And I feel like I have more control over it, which is huge. If you don't feel like you're in control of your stuff, which I didn't, you know, this is a great process to go through. Okay, back onto the shed. I wanted to just show you the empty containers. I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So out here we have not touched the outside garden stuff yet. That will be absolutely last. I do know we're going to keep the table saw, of course. And then as far as the other tools, one of the things that she really recommends is round up everything in that category. So I have stuff over here. I've got stuff on the side of the house. I got stuff on the other side of the house. I got stuff in the garage. I just got a lot of stuff. So that will be our last category after I go through the couple buckets left on the deck there. And we're going to go through and we're going to see what we want to keep yard tool wise. And then we're going to make a nice area for it. All right, in the back of the shed here, this is where we're thinking of just hanging like a 2x4 in the back there. And then hanging some stuff that you could, you know, hang your brooms or your handled items on the back. So that would look nice if we could hang all our yard equipment on the back wall, and then we could easily get to it. Over here, you can see all of my Halloween and Christmas is nicely labeled and lined up. Oh, I love it. I love it. I feel like I can get to the stuff when I want to and get to the specific stuff. We kind of labeled them, let's see here. For Christmas, I've got inside, outside, and the tree, which is great because sometimes we just want to get the inside decorated, and then we're going to wait a while to get the tree. So that's nice that I can just get the specific buckets for that. I like that it's broken down. I don't get everything at once. Over here, we've got 3 slots open still, which is good. I'm thinking it's going to be just about perfect. I'd love to put this cooler up there though, which leaves me 1 spot open, but I'm not sure how much on the deck is really going to come back in here. It's all right. It's still so much better. We've gotten rid of 6 containers and so much other junk. It's amazing. Anyhow, everything over here is nice and lined up as well. I wish we had painted, but I lost that battle. That's all right. I'll be happy either way. So just getting this amount done puts a huge load off my chest because we are hoping to move in like the next year or 2. I would say closer to a year. And, you know, he's already done 3 loads to the Goodwill. That would be a lot of stuff, extra stuff just to move, and a lot of extra time. This has been a project that has been spanning over 3 days. And if I was in a hurry to move, there's no way I would have taken the time to do that. So anyhow, I'm going to go finish up here and hopefully finish out this project. All right, we are down to the nitty-gritty. This is awesome. We just have yard tools left. And as you can see, we have a lot. I had the husband go and round up from the front yard, the side yard, the backyard, anywhere, anything that had a handle to it that was long, and just bring it over here so we can take a look at the sheer quantity that we have. And we have a lot. So first we gathered it all up, the same category into one place, and then we kind of subcategorized it, just like everything else. So at the end here, I've got snow shovels, which we have decided to get rid of. We have 2 snow shovels. We have never used either of them. Ever. Not once. Ever. In at least over 5 years. So if we wind up getting a big snowstorm this year, we will just have to buy another one, which is okay. I will take that chance for the space. You got to think about that. I mean, whatever we do keep, we are essentially giving it a piece of real estate and paying rent on it. So, time to part with that. Rakes. Ooh, I'll trip over my tree trunks here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rakes. How many rakes does one person need? I mean, there's a couple variety ones here, and I do like to have a few different choices, but definitely half of those need to go. The paint roller, I have another one, so that's probably going to go. The weeders I use both kids need a weeder. Anyhow, you can see where I'm going with this. There's stuff that we use quite often and religiously, and stuff that's just been sitting here. Like these shovels have been sitting outside and they're kind of rusty and need to be fixed up. So the idea is to get the things, only the ones that we want, and then I can go ahead and treat them. There's ways to bring your tools back to life with, gosh, I don't remember. I think it's sandpaper and mineral oil or something. Maybe I'll paint the handles or whatnot. I don't know. We have a few other things over here. This table is going to go back in, but if you look into the shed now, we've got, well, we were measuring 2x4s. So we found a long piece. Always shop your home. Found a board that will fit perfectly. Then we're going to get some attachments for it so that we can hang all the tools that we do keep so we can easily find them. Everything on this side fit in nicely. I might hang this broom out here. I've liked having it in here. The stool goes back inside. These extra pieces of 2x4 we don't need, so they'll go back to our area that we keep 2x4s in. And then we've got everything in here. So it all fits just beautifully. I wish I had a little bit more room to grow, I'll be honest. But I think as we do this process and kind of the kids get older, our stuff will get less and we'll have better, or we'll have less stuff to store out here. Right now, with the family the way it is, I feel like we are fine. And all of our containers have a little bit of room in them to grow. So if we do come across something, we do have extra space inside the holiday buckets and whatnot. All right, so now we just need to go through all these handled items and figure out which ones we are going to keep and use. All right, guys, we are all done. I've got my hanging doodads in the back there, hanging up all the tools, making it nice and organized. You can find what you need really easy. There's lots of room for growth as well. We have, I think, 4 extra handles. Not that I need any more yard tools, but if I came across something I couldn't live without, I would have a spot to store it. So I'm loving all the floor space. Look at the floor space in here. I can see the floor. It's easy to mop. If we have any, you know, we have rodents every once in a while. It'd be easy to place traps or, you know, just generally keeping it clean, keeping it swept. you can now come in here, get out of the rain, go to the shelf that you need, pull out what you need, and get it up to the house with ease. So I am loving it. It's functional. Definitely took out all the junk that I don't need. And I feel like, you know, if you have one of those projects that's just so overwhelming, you don't know where to start, that was the shed, and it's been that way for a while. Now I feel like if I do want to kind of maybe pare down again or go through something, you know, it's definitely in a manageable state here. So loving, loving, loving it. Here, we'll just walk right in. The back shelf here didn't have like the weed whacker, and the hole post digger couldn't fit in there, so we just found a spot right there to hang them. We've got our extra, the dog. We kept telling the dog she was going to get a dog house. I think she started to believe us. But anyhow, we got our extra gas over here, all our keepsakes and camping and stuff. Camping's a little crammed up there, but that's okay. We don't really access it but a couple times a year, so it's still easy to get to. Same with like the table, you know, yes, it takes up floor space, but I have so much floor space that if I wanted to get to the baseball cards or stuff behind it, I could easily move it, get to the stuff I need. And that's kind of long-term stuff. I said, whatever we don't get to hardly ever, you know, our trunk of wedding memorabilia being one of them, I have not accessed that in years. So anyhow, you know what I'm saying. Had to pause there for a second, but got everything nice and organized. Love these hangers. These are from Amazon. I got 2 for $17, and I had the free shipping because I did 4 of them, and it was $35. And if you spent $35, you got free next day. So we got it next day to air or shipped. So it was awesome. But look at this. These are so nice because you can put the thing up. You can do different handles, and then I know this is kind of cheesy. It's plastic. It's actually pretty sturdy for what it is. And it just went right into the 2x4. So that makes this whole back area just nice and cleaned up. And it definitely leaves less of a footprint. I have found with the whole KonMarie process, the simpler the better, the less is more, etc. Just all applies. You know, yes, I went out and I bought $40 worth of these hanger things, and we could have done this with nails. But I think this just looks so much better, and it's well worth, it wasn't even $40, it was like $35.70, but you know what I mean. Anyhow, it was the only money we spent on here. I could definitely have spent some money on tape, or we were talking about maybe lighting, but you know, how much do you want to put into your shed? For me, just having it organized and where I can see it is worth it. The labels, spending the time to do the labels didn't take very long, and was well worth it. So I think labeling it and just having it kind of all nice and neat is eye-appealing. Makes me smile, brings joy to my heart, all of that good stuff. I love looking at this now. Instead of dreading going out to the shed, it's like, oh yeah, it's just easy peasy. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like these videos, give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments or suggestions, go ahead and leave them down below. Yeah, I would love to paint the inside white and have lights and stuff, but maybe another day. Maybe that's like phase 2 of upgrading the shed, but for right now, we're calling this project done. We are done, going to move on to the next. Take care and have an awesome day.